Hello, I'm Phil Kimmey, Judges Chairman for the Miss Missouri organization. Thank you for agreeing to judge a Miss America and perhaps a Miss America's Outstanding Teen preliminary competition. Whether you're judging at the local, state, or national level, the job is still the same: to find the one young woman who best represents the Miss America and Miss America's Outstanding Teen organization and the women of her generation. For those of you who are new to Miss America, the Miss America program makes available more than $45 million in cash and college scholarships to contestants at the local, state, and national level in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. For over 90 years, the Miss America program has been an American tradition, providing young women the opportunity to perform on stage and to compete for scholarships, which will enable them to achieve their educational goals and obtain the life experience necessary to realize their personal and professional dreams. The Miss America Outstanding Teen has been in existence since 2005, and although a standalone organization, dovetails on the philosophy of the Miss America organization. But just as times have changed over the last 9 decades, the Miss America competition has changed to keep up with the times. Today, a local, state, or national title holder is a role model for her community. She's a leader to all she serves. She's beautiful, well-spoken, talented, able to relate to young people. She's charismatic, reflective of women her age, and mature enough to handle the job and all of its responsibilities. It is your job, as the judge, to select the one young woman who best represents all the qualities I have described. But first, you must understand what takes place during the interview and the onstage competitions, and that's just the beginning. Once the winner is named, she will not only receive the crown and the scholarships, but she will also assume the job responsibilities that come with this title. It is important for you to fully understand the job description of the woman you are about to select. You must remember that she will be the face and the voice of the program you are judging. Everyone who sees her, hears her speak, or watches her perform her talent during her year as a title holder must be impressed by her. She will have the potential to work with competition sponsors, local and state organizations, the press, politicians, children, schools, and organizations which support her platform issue. And she must be well-spoken and have the ability to connect with every audience she serves. She must have all the skills, the qualities, and the attributes to do this job. But you must know what the job really is for the specific title holder you are selecting. Also today, the local pageant officials will share their specific job responsibilities for these title holders. If there are a few job responsibilities at this level of competition, what other job responsibilities at the next level of competition? These are all things you will need to discuss in order to be prepared to judge this local pageant. The Outstanding Teen competitors are ages 13 to 17. The Miss contestants are ages 17 to 24. Now that you understand the job you are about to fill, you need to know that the Miss America and Outstanding Teen organizations provide you 5 areas of competition to help you find that young woman. Each area of competition has its own specific criteria for judging. However, all of them have a few things in common. You will need to judge each phase of competition on a scale of 1 to 10, and you can use whole numbers only. Each phase of competition will have its own score sheet. The score sheet will contain all the information you need to know about that phase of competition. After each contestant has competed in an area of competition, you must immediately assign her a score. It is important for you to establish for yourself right now what is average for you. What should an average talent be or an average interview be like? An Olympic scoring system is used, scoring from a low of 1 to a high of 10 using whole numbers only. You can give a score of 7 or 8, but not a 7.5. If the contestant is below average, she can only receive a score of 1, 2, or 3. If she is average, the score should be 4, 5, or 6. Above average, 7, 8, or 9, and a perfect score is 10. Unfortunately, too many judges score too high and then end up hurting the good contestants. A good judge is decisive and awards each contestant the score she deserves. The auditors will drop the highest and lowest score given by the panel of judges for each competition. You should not be concerned about this, as it's the auditor's responsibility, nor should you keep it in mind when scoring. Just give the contestant the score she deserves. Each phase of competition will have its own score sheet handed to you when a new phase of competition is about to begin. The score sheet should be signed as soon as you receive it. You should review the scoring criteria shown at the bottom of each score sheet to remind yourself what should be factored in scoring each area of competition. You will also record your score onto a worksheet that will be provided. This is yours to keep and to assist you to remember what score you gave each contestant in each of the phases. You may also make brief comments in the space provided to remember the contestants better. You must also remember that you must remain consistent in your scoring. What is the average at the beginning of the competition must be average at the end of the competition. Do not become easier or tougher with your scores as the competition moves along. It is important for you to understand that when I say you need to establish what is average for you, that means the contestants are not competing against each other, but against your standards. So more than one contestant may receive the same score. You must place the score on the score sheet immediately after the contestant has competed in that phase of competition. If you need to change a score, please draw a line through the original score and write the new score next to it. You must initial any changes on your score sheet. Please make sure to write clearly so that the auditors can easily understand your scores. In some competitions, awards may go to the contestant who scored the highest number of points in a specific phase of competition. Anytime an award is announced on stage, the integrity of the entire program is put on the line. That is why it is critically important for you to award each contestant the score she deserves. Many times, judges become overwhelmed with a contestant in one phase of competition and award her more points than she deserves in other areas, which may cause the contestant to win a preliminary award that she does not deserve, or worse yet, win a title that should go to another contestant. You have been selected to judge this competition because the pageant officials believe that you are decisive, impartial, and understand the impact of the job you have before you. Prior to arriving at this orientation, you should have already received the contestant's paperwork, including information regarding the issue she's chosen to address if she is selected as the winner. This paperwork includes a one-page fact sheet and a one-page platform issue statement. You should understand that this paperwork should be the foundation for the contestant's interview. Study this paperwork and examine whether or not she has demonstrated any of the skills necessary to perform the job description of the winner. When looking at the platform statement, look at her commitment to the issue, what she's accomplished, how can the Miss America organization benefit from her platform, and how can her platform benefit from the Miss America organization. Be careful not to allow the platform to outweigh the contestant's overall ability to perform the job requirements. Just because you believe the issue needs to be addressed does not necessarily mean the contestant herself is the right person for this job. Remember, you are not selecting a platform, you are choosing a person to represent this program for an entire year. Now, about the interview. Before the interviews begin, pageant officials will designate a head judge. It will be the head judge's responsibility, in conjunction with the competition officials, to determine who will ask the first question and who will be responsible for wrapping up the interview. Once the contestant has been introduced, the judge assigned the role of asking the first question should begin. At the conclusion of the time for questioning, one of the judges will tell the contestant that her time is up and that the interview is over. The judge should say, "I'm sorry, our time is up. Is there anything you would like for us to know that we have not already covered?" If there's anything she feels has not been covered, she will have an additional 30 seconds to make a closing statement. This is her opportunity to make sure the judges know everything she wants them to know before she leaves the interview. However, if the contestant believes everything was already covered in the interview, she's not required to make a closing statement, and there's no so-called penalty for not using this time. As you are thinking about your questions for the interview, you must go back and remember the job description. Questions focusing on a specific answer probably are not going to help you find the right person to do the job. Look at the audiences and the groups she's expected to serve, and look at all of the job responsibilities. Your questions should push the contestant so you can determine if she has the skills to do the job if she wins the competition. No questions are off limits. However, don't become too personal, and always use good taste. Don't hog the conversation, and make sure your questions are short enough so that as many questions as possible can be asked. You should ask tough questions regarding her opinions, her experiences, and her knowledge. This is the contestant's opportunity to show you that she can do this job. The interview should help you understand whether or not each contestant is charismatic enough, dynamic enough, mature enough, and intelligent enough to do the job described to you earlier. Once the first interview is over, and before you place the score on the score sheet, ask yourself, what was your first impression when the contestant walked into the interview? And what was your impression as soon as the contestant left the room? Those will be the first impressions that many who meet her will have when she's introduced to them and after she has met with them. You should assess how natural she is and whether or not she will be able to relate to her peers and to the audiences and groups she will need to serve. She should have a strong ability to communicate as well as valid opinions, and those opinions may not be the same as yours, but that's not important. The question is whether or not her opinions are valid, well supported, and very well communicated. Examine her personality, personal appearance, attractiveness, and physical beauty. Determine whether or not she is a leader and has a sense of accomplishment and the knowledge and commitment to her community that is needed in this job. Does she really understand her platform issue and how she benefits the Miss Missouri organization, Miss America organization, and the Outstanding Teen Pageant through her involvement? And again, does she have the personality to pull off this job? The teen interview is a few minutes shorter than the Miss competition. We encourage you to engage and challenge them. However, you will want to adapt your questions for appropriateness with the 13 to 17 age group. The one phase of competition which separates the Miss America organization from other competitions is the talent competition. During this phase of competition, you should look at whether or not the contestant has the true talent ability to represent this program for an entire year. Look at her talent presentation's overall effect on you as a member of both the audience and the judges panel. You will see a variety of talents, and it will be difficult for any one judge to be an expert in all fields of talent. But as you are watching each contestant's talent, remember the job description you were given earlier. If she's asked to perform her talent at appearances, is she going to entertain the audience? Is she going to impress them? And will you be proud that you were responsible for selecting this young woman to hold this position? Keep in mind that these women are not usually professionals. Your general observations should include the contestant's true talent ability. Look at the way in which the talent is executed, her technique, and stage presence. Many judges ask which is more important, raw talent or entertainment value. The correct answer is that both are important. It becomes easier to award a contestant the points she deserves when the job description you were given earlier is considered. Please remember, we have asked the contestants to find talent selections which are more contemporary. That does not mean an excellent talent, which is a classic ballad or a 100-year-old aria, should be penalized, but do not think a contestant is somehow less talented because you do not recognize the music. Now, about the evening wear competition. Evening wear competition allows the judge to consider the contestant's physical beauty, charisma, and stage presence. When the contestant enters the stage, immediately assess your first impression of her. Is she going to be able to take control of a room by simply walking into it? Also consider the way she walks, her posture and grace, as well as her style and personality. You are not to consider the cost of the gown itself, but only consider the gown to the degree it helps the contestant present her total look. A title holder at the local and state level must have the beauty and commanding presence to direct attention to her in a positive way when she meets with business, community, political, and nonprofit leaders. Take these issues into consideration when assigning a contestant score in this phase of competition. Next is the onstage question. In some pageants, an onstage question competition may take place during evening wear, or it may stand alone. Once the contestant has answered her question, ask yourself, what was your overall first impression? Did she communicate her opinions in a sincere way and at the same time connect to the audience? Examine her confidence and stage presence, as well as her ability to answer the question in the time allotted. Before scoring this contestant, you must ask yourself, what is this contestant's ability to be a spokesperson for the Miss America organization? Unfortunately, too many judges see the onstage question as simply an extension of the interview. It is more than that. A contestant may be excellent in a small group situation, but may not be as charismatic and dynamic enough to fulfill the job responsibilities on a large stage in front of an audience. Look to see if she can handle the pressure of being in front of a large crowd. Make sure she answers the question, but more importantly, make sure people want to listen to her. For the outstanding teen, you will also score their onstage question with the evening wear competition and award 1 score. So, about the lifestyle and fitness in swimwear. The longest running tradition in the Miss America system is the swimsuit competition. It is, without a doubt, the most controversial of all the competitions, with many people wondering whether or not it exploits young women. It is the Miss America organization's belief that those who really feel that way don't understand the competition itself. Regardless of what we may each believe about the role of the Miss America organization's title holders, the American public has an expectation that she will be beautiful and physically fit. This is the same expectations they have for all of their celebrities, from music and film to sports, and Miss America is no exception. You must look at her physical beauty as well as her physical fitness. I believe we often sell the swimsuit competition short. Many only consider the physical aspect of the competition. A title holder will oftentimes be put into situations in which she is not comfortable, because no matter how hard business managers and booking agents try to make sure they know everything about an appearance, many times the event changes after she arrives. How is she going to handle that aspect of her job description? A beautiful and physically fit contestant who is nervous and shaking on stage may not be able to handle the job you are trying to fill. She must also have drive, energy, charisma, and a commanding presence. Remember, physical fitness is not about being the thinnest contestant. It is about being truly physically fit. The Miss America organization is keenly aware that it has a responsibility to the young women it serves. We encourage you to make every effort to not reward contestants who are not physically fit with points they do not deserve. This competition moves very rapidly. The contestants will be in front of you for mere seconds. It is important to score quickly in this phase of competition. The swimsuit competition is an American tradition of which we are very proud of, but as an organization, we need to make sure that it is judged as it was intended, by examining to see if she meets the public's expectations of a title holder and whether or not she is physically fit enough to handle the rigorous schedule of this job. Her stage presence, confidence, and charisma also help you to determine her ability to do the job that lies ahead. For the outstanding teen, there is no swimsuit competition. Rather, you will judge the teens in activewear. This competition consists of a short calisthenic routine. This phase of competition is designed to see how well the contestant maintains a lifestyle of good physical health and whether or not she has the sense of confidence and self-assurance needed to be a title holder. The contestant should show that she takes care of herself and participates in activities that promote a healthy lifestyle. The contestants will wear a type of aerobic activewear clothing chosen by the local organization, not a swimsuit. This phase of competition is not a substitute for the swimsuit competition at Miss America, and the MAO Teen organization is not looking for the perfect swimsuit body. The objective is not to place a teen contestant whose body is changing almost on a daily basis in a position of having to diet herself into the perfect swimsuit body. This phase of competition is a great indicator of confidence. Regarding the final ballot, if you have judged before, you will now notice that the final ballot is no longer part of the Miss America nor the Outstanding Teen Judging process. These changes were made to the system in 2016. Now, in general, remember to give the first contestant the same point consideration as the last one. There will be no talking, laughing, or applauding while contestants are on stage, particularly during the competitions. Do not tell anyone how you scored, including comparing with the other judges. Judges are never permitted to attend rehearsals or leave the auditorium during the pageant. Very importantly, all electronic devices must be turned off during all competitions. If there's an after-pageant event, do not discuss anything that transpired during the judging process with anyone. You may be asked by the pageant director to participate in a critique of the winner after the pageant. It is acceptable to provide feedback about the winner for the director to prepare the winner for the state pageant. If you receive requests after the pageant regarding advice on how to improve, politely decline by saying, "I signed an affidavit which prevents me from discussing anything that took place during the judging process, but good luck with your future competition experiences." Please be sure that all contestant paperwork in your possession is disposed of in a manner which will protect the contestant's identity and personal information. And in conclusion, as a pageant judge, you are also being judged. The contestants consider participating in this program as a serious endeavor. They are sincere in their efforts. You should respond at all times with understanding and dignity. Thank you for volunteering to be a judge. We appreciate your time and energy. Good luck finding the next Miss Missouri, or perhaps the next Miss America.